Why choose Linux to write your code with, to run your code on? We're going to go through reasons why I think it's a good idea. But first, we're going to clarify this right now. This is not an operating system debate. You're free to run or write your Python on whatever operating system you feel comfortable in. But the big reason is that, significant portion of the internet-facing servers, whether it be web servers, mail servers, file servers, internet-facing systems, we'll just say, will run some flavor of Unix, whether that be Linux, FreeBSD, NetBSD, OpenBSD, Unix proper, AIX, any Unix or Unix-like operating system still has a significant footprint in the internet. They just will. They will, and they probably always will. It's just the way things have always been. Python was actually first released for a Unix-based operating system. Truth be told, I wasn't able to find out which. I want to say it was Linux, but there's obviously no. At least I couldn't find a way to determine which flavor of Linux specifically. But it's obvious that it was released for either Linux or some other Unix-based operating system. So there's a good reason. Now, using Linux is easy now. It's way easier than it used to be, okay? If you wanted to set up Linux at home, you either had to dual boot your machine or you had to run the OS. You had to dedicate the machine to running Linux, okay? Dual booting was often a pain. I don't know if anybody's had experience with using Linux at home and getting it all set up and everything like that, and getting everything customized the way you wanted it, and setting up your boot manager and all that jazz. But it really was a pain if you wanted to dual boot. You would run into situations where your master boot record would get overwritten and you had to, sort of manually repair that, or even worse, something happened with the partition and you lost data and then had to go jump through all kinds of hoops to try to recover it, and it was a pain, huge pain. And now when we have virtualization, we have stuff like VMware, we have stuff like VirtualBox. VirtualBox is free, by the way. Linux is free. And you don't have to mess with if you want to run Windows all the time, fine, just run Linux in a VM. It makes it super, super easy to get it installed, up and running, and you don't have a risk of losing data or screwing up hard drives or anything like that. So if you want to go the VirtualBox route or the VM route, easiest Linux distributions to install and get up and running quickly, probably Ubuntu and Linux Mint. Linux Mint is based off Ubuntu, but I think Ubuntu is probably the most tried and true, easy, no hassle setup distro out there. So if you want to, set up a VM using that, go for it. Super easy, take you maybe 10 minutes. They're both Debian based. Linux Mint is based on Ubuntu. Ubuntu is based on Debian, so therefore Linux Mint's based on Debian.